Right, back again. It's the mess I've got going on at the moment. So today we're doing an engine swap on a Seat Ibiza 2010 1.4 turbo diesel. That's the PD engine. The engine looks a little bit something like that. Yeah, I think that's the side you'll see. So it's like a PD engine, but it's only a 3-cylinder, like a small one. What happens to seize these engines is... Also, don't forget to hit subscribe, because if you keep subscribing, then I keep doing more videos and you get to learn stuff. So, hit subscribe. So this cam belt side, obviously we've taken the cam belt and the water pump off here already, ready to install a new one. So locking pins all there. Underneath, you take the sump off. This chain affair here, this is what your actual oil pump is, and it's an oil pump chain. You see, it's very much like a cam chain kit if you've ever done one on a Vauxhall. You've got your guide rails here, your little tensioner in there, and obviously that puts tension on the chain here. Which keeps running, keeps this harmonic balancer in time as well, and it runs off the crank under here. So this is a scrapyard engine that we've got in for the car, right? And you see, it's a bit of wear on them guides anyway. I'm going to change them all, basically. I'm going to change this chain and show you how to do it. But the reason we have to change the engine is because the old one failed, right? Same side, cam belt side. Come down here. Look at that mess. Yep. Simple broken chain. Volkswagen say this is a lifetime warranty part and there's no need to change it, or they did initially, and now they've actually changed their mind and they're making aftermarket kits for it. But see, it snaps the chain in here, the tensioner fails and goes rigid, which is what's happened with this one, right? So there's no movement in that whatsoever, and the chain snaps and snarls itself up in here right around the crankshaft, and the engine just stops dead. It's only 60,000 miles, this engine. What I conclude from that is that the oil hasn't been done regularly enough, I reckon. But yeah, so this is just the tip of the iceberg. Like, oh, lovely, got my new chain kit, right? Happy days. See, lovely crank bolt there to take off. They're famous, these Volkswagen crank bolts, right? So let's have a look at the one I'm going to take off. I've obviously had the bolt off. This one here. So the inner tooth, they're just not there. Somebody has had a jolly old college try at this before, rounded the living daylights out of it, and then left it for me to deal with. Lovely job. See, it's half rounded all the way around. If I even look at that with a socket, it's just going to round off. I need to get some heat on it. I need to get the blowtorch on it. Maybe I even weld a nut over the top to get it on. I'm going to hold it via the crank and my pulley here, and I'm going to design a crank locking system to wedge in here to hold it, because my bar just doesn't quite fit it. It's a little bit narrow for that. So yeah. Hey guys, right, back again. So I've just started stripping down this engine to show you. This is obviously the deleted engine, the one with the broken oil pump. Look at this. I just having a look there, and oh yeah, this is a bada one. Look at that. Totally fried this oil pump. And so that's what the damage has caused. There's some hella torque involved in there. I don't think it would have damaged the block, but we're going to take it all apart and have a look. This engine's going to the scrapyard anyway. For my own interest, I want to know how bad the damage actually is. So yeah, we're going to pull that off and have a look now. Here it comes. Some stuff happening here now. Bits falling out. I can't do this with one hand. There you go. Oh, aye, that would be a good reason for the engine to stop. Look at that. Wow. Coiled up around the crankshaft. And that's what's caused all that major pressure that's just forced that out. Jesus. Okay. Well, that kind of explains it. That's what happened to your fancy Audi as you're driving it at 35,000 miles. Volkswagen say this never needs to be replaced. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're not correct about that.
Tensioner as well.
So this tensioner is a thing that actually fails, and I think it comes out and gets stuck. You see it's like funny on the piss a little bit there. So like, yeah, that's what happened. Tensioner fried, chain snapped, snarled around the crank pulley, destroyed the housing, and yeah, Some scrap metal there, look at that. So this is what a good one looks like. This is off our new engine, obviously. And I'm going to change it all over now. This is the balance shaft underneath, and you see it goes straight to that bearing at the far end. So what I've done, I've marked it the Tipex there, just so I'm sure that is in the perfect time. That has to be in time with the crank up here. Look, the tension runs down this side, up here, that's all going to be under tension, and then this is where the slack is on this side. You just pull the pin and the tensioner comes out. As it happens, this doesn't look too bad, but it's a little tiny bits of grab on it, and yeah, and I'm putting new oil in anyway. And look at that, the guides do have a little bit of wear in it. They've got a bit of a step in it from where the belt chain's been going around. So we are going to change this, and we're going to do it now. Looks like a couple of T30s in the middle, and we'll get the kit out and see what we've got. So here's our new kit. Look at that, right? 3 lovely shiny new pulleys. This is our slider kit. You see, new one, 0 step on there. They're perfect. That one's supposed to be like that. And a shiny new chain. So those 3 pulleys are the bottom 3 down here, look, because there's no way one of them is a top pulley. So I'm gonna take this off. It looks like there's a corresponding mark in between there. Just about see that there. So yeah, I'm gonna strip all this apart and change all the pulleys, because while I'm here I might as well, right? Yeah, so I'll tell you how difficult that is now. So that is the shiny new kit fitted. Look at that, right? So for the timing chip marks, right? You see that there's a little groove on the bottom there that I've highlighted with Tipex. This is my new pulley. There's a little dot on the top one, which I've also highlighted with Tipex. They line up with the copper links on the chain, or the bronze links on the chain rather, so that you know you've got them set right. For me, because I was changing this pulley at the back, I was hyper paranoid about it. So it links to this shaft at the back. So I did myself a couple of marks there, made sure they lined up. And then, because I wasn't sure about the crank pulley either, on the back here, then a couple of marks on that, and they line up. So I'm happy everything stayed in time. But yeah, fancy. New tensioner, new chain. See, 0 lipping in the chain anywhere. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this a little bit soaked in oil before it turns around, and just so it's not running dry in its first ever attempt. But that's the oil pump there. That's the suction from the bottom of it, look. Yeah, pretty straightforward. This works for 1.9 or 1.4, so yeah, you need to get this done, guys. If you haven't already, you're going to kill your engine. Right, guys, sorry, it's a bit dark out there now, but we've got it all together. Look, I gave out a quick clean in the parts cleaner. So I've got a nice coat of oil lubricant on the chain there. We've got the oil housing back on, freshly sealed all the way around. Got my sprockets back on. Going to wait till the engine's intact before I tighten that up completely. New idler, new tensioner, tension set perfectly, new water pump, and a new belt part. Gates, of course, because we don't trust anything else. So that's all done now. What I'm probably going to do is leave it like this and go home for a beer, and come in tomorrow, double check everything, take my timing tools out, look. Then I'm going to spin the engine over. Some people say 2 times. Oh yeah, by the way, that's how you set your tension on the tensioner there. You've got to get it between the little gap in the back there. The arrow moves as you do it. I told you about the famous Volkswagen nut there. Right, I put a fresh one in, obviously you can see, but look what I had to do to the old one, look. Let's have a look. So I had to weld a blooming 32mm nut to it all the way around, and just to try and get it undone. But once I did that and got the knocker gun on it, it came out sweet. No damage to anything. Everything's all set to time, looking lovely, and I'm going home.